Hello everybody, welcome back to Surviving Minecraft. My name is DanielAKA, and this is the show that starts at the beginning and today's going to end with the new house. So we've gotten set up at the new location. Well, we've gotten to the new location, the mainland. This is going to be our initial main base area. And I've got a design in mind, something a little bit different. For building up our first new house. Now, this is going to be fairly simplistic, but it is going to utilize a couple of things that we haven't worked with before, a couple of new items, and I want to show you a couple of things with some trees. So, let's go ahead and dive into this here. First off, I need to grab here this iron that we have making. I want to give everyone a fair warning because I did this and I have a tendency to do this. If you are near your mine area and it's not completely shielded off, if you go AFK, there is a chance that you might not have lit something up correctly and you can get a zombie spawning and attacking you. I came back after a long AFK session, AFK because I left it running by accident, and saw that my character had died as a result. So, yeah, be aware of that. Today, I'm going to build an octagon shape house. It's going to be a little bit different. Let me see here. Yep, there we go. It is going to be different from what I've built previously here. We're going to be using Nether Brick and dark oak, I think. Dark oak or spruce. We'll take a look at both of them here. I'm going to bring the birch with me just in case. And I'll get a couple of birch saplings to go with. Alright. Now, Nether Brick is a block which spawns in the nether in the nether fortresses. It is a very dark block. Very dark reddish, and aside from getting it in the nether fortresses, which we're going to be looking out for at some point, you can also take netherrack and smelt it down. One netherrack gives you a brick, 4 bricks give you well, I guess a nether brick. Here, let's go ahead and grab these. So these are nether bricks. And to give you an idea here, yeah, nether brick turns into nether bricks. I'm going to keep these separated for now. What I've done down here is actually a really straightforward system here. I don't remember if I've mentioned these before, but these are hoppers. So hoppers are created using 5 iron and a chest. So just to give you an idea here, this is a hopper. Now, what a hopper does is it pulls in items from an above inventory, like this chest as an example, into the hopper's inventory. It's got 5 slots in here, and then it tries to insert it in whatever direction it's pointing. So, for a furnace, you can insert things to be smelted from the top. You can insert fuel from the back. And then you export things from the bottom here. It just so happens that this will stay in here, and as soon as this is used up and becomes just a regular bucket, it'll actually be pulled out from the hopper. So I've just got a line of these running through, and they just export into this chest. Really, really handy. But as you can see, I've done a bit of mining here. I've turned pretty much every bit of this into nether brick. So we're going to have some extra throw. So we're going to have a lot of nether brick to work with. I've also done a bit of terraforming. Let's go ahead and sleep real quick. I've done a little bit of terraforming. I've flattened the ground, and I've sort of decided that over there is where we're going to build our initial house. Okay. So, let me grab our bone meal. The 2 wooden blocks that I think I primarily want to use, first we have the dark oak. Now, you've seen the dark oak before here. With the dark oak, if you put 4 saplings down and wait, or bone meal, you will get a, ooh, that's a pretty big one, a dark oak tree. These, for me at least, have a pretty decent drop rate on the saplings. I have been able, with just 4 saplings from that first island that we went to, the first island with these dark oaks on there, dark oak trees. I've been able to keep like 3 or 4 of these up constantly until I decided not to worry about it any further. So let's go ahead and chop this down. I'll come back here in a few minutes for the saplings that spawn. Alright, in fact, let's put this up here. Yep, as you can see, I've got a pretty decent supply of these. Let's grab a single spruce, because I think this is something that's worth noting. Spruce trees are rather interesting. So, single spruce tree, if it will grow, there we go, will grow up basically like this, like pretty much any other real tree. I like spruce sort of like the birch because I haven't seen them have any real spurs sticking out. There we go. We've already got one back. Look at that. Isn't that convenient? So unlike oak, oak can be really rowdy. This doesn't seem to have too much of a problem. Now, if you take 4 spruce and put them in a line, they will turn into a mega spruce. So, let me show you this. This is interesting. I've got this inset here in stone because when these big spruces grow up, they turn all of the grass around them into a different substance. This is 4 spruce trees stuck together. You can see you get a lot more wood out of this. So, the way that I generally mine this is like so. Go up, just pinwheel up, staircase up like this until we get to the top of the tree. Okay, so just look at this. Look how high up we are. Isn't this insane? Okay, so let's say you've gotten to this point here. The easiest way that I've found to cut the rest of this down is you want to stand on this little intersection between the 4 blocks here. Cut 1, you drop down. You cut 1, you drop down. And you just sort of stay put, and you just swing around in a circle without moving until you've cut the rest of the tree down. We're going to be using a lot of wood, and whether it be spruce or dark oak, either one, you're going to need a lot. And this is what I was talking about with the soil. This is podzol. Now, if you just mine it with anything that doesn't have silk touch, it will turn to regular dirt. But if you mine it up with something with silk touch, it will stay as podzol. So, I'm going to leave that there and plop that back down. Let these fall here. I am actually curious because I've never checked whether or not... that's not a problem. Let's go ahead and grab these. Yeah, we've got plenty, we've got a surplus of these, so plop that back down. Let's put the rest in this chest. Okay. Plop, plop. Now, in addition to that, so, you know, you just, as I was showing you, just cook this up like so. I'm also got some glass that is growing. We will be using that later. Let's go ahead and put that in here. I'm going to grab 3 stacks of that to begin with, and let me show you the foundation we're going to lay down. And I do believe, yeah, there are some caves underground, but this is going to be our initial foundation. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is going to be 9 on a side, but the sides are going to include that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, so I'm going to go around 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, and 9. And I'm going to go ahead and cut all of this out, and then I'm going to empty the center section, so I'll be back in a second. So we've got our octagon all fleshed out in here. Now we have to decide on a flooring. And what I'm going to use in this case is I'm going to be using both dark oak and spruce. The dark oak is a little darker. I'm going to use this as the main, with this as sort of a something to give it a kind of worn-in look every now and then. And these are stripped logs. So let's go ahead and jump down in here. Now, the way I'm going to do this is just like this. And I'm going to stick to the directionality so that all the grain on all of the wood is identical. Yep, I want all of the grain on all of this here to be the same. But for every few of these, we're going to throw in a spruce log, just to make it a little bit different with the color palette. Let's go ahead and grab more dark oak. Now, I know what you're saying. You're saying, Daniel, this looks like a bunch of logs stuck down. Yeah, you're right. But to strip them, what we've got to do, let's go ahead and let's actually do a double section here for this. So you take your axe and you just simply right click on the log and you strip all of the bark off of it. And I happen to think this actually looks like a pretty interesting flooring. And you'll see, even though it's dark, in comparison with the Nether Brick, it definitely is a lot lighter. And you see these patches then with the spruce thrown in, where it looks like sections of the floor have been worn down or replaced or something like that. You know, and you can even go through and throw, you know, whole log sections in there, as if the entire thing had been swapped out at one point. I would say try and be random, but the human mind really can't be random. You know, what we think is random is really not in the end. We do need a lot of these logs here in order for this to go through. So I'm going to go ahead and get to work on finishing the flooring, and then we'll go to the next part. Okay, so we have the flooring in at this point, and I gotta say, I really like the way this is starting to look out. Now we're going to go ahead and put the walls in, and on top of that, the doors. So let's see here. There is a few ways we can go about doing this, and I am kind of whiffling back and forth. Nah, we're going to stick with my original idea. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to start off by putting in some pillars on these sides here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to throw some logs across the top. There we go, and let's do this last one here. Okay, so we've gotten the walls in place. I am going to grab the glass. We're going to put some windows in. and we're going to lighten this up a little bit here. So we've got a very... I went ahead and just stuck with the same thing that's on the foundations, just straight up. I've got dark oak doors here, and then I did put these spruce... I can't even say it. Pressure plates. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Inside, like so. This way you can walk out, and if you're out, you just step on it, and it'll shut the door for you. Alright, for in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to end up doing the exact same thing, but I do want to have internally 4, like so. So, just like on the first floor, we're going to go ahead and do that. I am going to... Yeah, inside here, I'm going to run a line of this. So the logs are expressly on the outside. So let's actually cut that down. There we go. And then I'm also going to put in windows. So over here, actually, yeah, I'm remembering now. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and bring these down. And I think... Yeah, let's go and bring these down like this real quick. Let's see how this looks, because I'm trying to remember how I had set this up previously. So in here, glass planes, you saw, glass panes, you saw how I did that just a little bit ago. Give us some wide open rooms there. We get a little bit of depth because these are in the center of the block there. And then out here for the dark oak. Like so. Extend that by 1. There we go. Yeah, so that'll just frame the outside. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. 2. Yep. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these walls done. For the center here. What I'm gonna do is sort of similar. But not glass panes, because they don't really connect well, in my opinion, for this. Yeah, no. What we're going to do instead is full glass blocks for this part. Yeah. Chew you. So for that... So on the sides, it'll look like that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get this part done, and then we'll jump to the next part. So we're part of the way through the process, and you can already see what I'm going on here. We got a lot of space inside, and with these all these windows giving us a light color, in addition to the not so bright, but a lot brighter than this purplish nether brick. I think it actually looks pretty good. Now, for getting up and down in this, we've got something else that we're going to do instead. So we could make some ladders. We could certainly do that. But what I think I would prefer to do in this instance is to make a bubble vader. Alright, you're asking yourself, Daniel, what is a bubble vader? Well, a bubble vader is basically a elevator that uses bubbles. The soul sand And the magma blocks both interact with water by either pushing you up or pulling you down. So, what we're going to do, and let's see here, these are walls. Trying to think of the most effective way to do this. Here's the other thing that I wanted to make, is we want to make some lanterns for lighting stuff up. A lantern is made with a torch and iron nuggets. Let's go ahead and make us that. So we take an iron ingot and it breaks down to 9 iron nuggets. And I'm going to go ahead and do that. And we take a torch and we surround it in iron nuggets and we get a lantern. Now, lanterns can either be hung from a flat block or a fence gate, or they can be placed on top of a block. Let's go ahead and head down here real quick. It is about to get night. So, what I'm going to do is this. Let's see how this looks. One higher. And I believe this was why, one of the reasons why I did this height initially. Yeah, there we go. So we have just lanterns that are hanging there. Let's go ahead and sleep real quick. So that's one of the big reasons why we will need a good amount of iron for this, is for all the lanterns. I'm going to have lanterns basically doing the same thing internally here. But I can simply just hang them as well. And I'll be able to just hang them from the floor as needed. So, here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to put a pillar in. Like so. Then we're going to do from there and there. Next, we're going to have a couple of these in here. Oop, I actually do need my glass. And okay, this one's pretty straightforward, but let's do this temporarily. Water. There we go. I probably don't need it, but so over here we're gonna place that water here. And just leave it like that. With these fence gates, it will keep it here, and we'll be able to fall through that and not take any damage. So this will be our down. For this one, we're going to set up fence gates on the outside. Like so. And this will keep the water in here. Now, I'm going to start off by, yeah, let's do this. All right. The water's going to flow down right to there. We want all of these to be water source blocks. So you can place a whole bunch of water source blocks, but if you take kelp, it'll attach to basically a solid block. All of these are now water source blocks due to the way kelp works. So thankfully, since we're right here in the ocean, kelp is really straightforward to get access to. All right. Now, we're going to take out this bottom block. Nope, 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 not good. There we go. We're going to take this bottom block out here, and we're going to put in soul sand. And poof! Haha. Alright. Fall down through there. and straight up top with our bubble vader. Perfect. Now, I probably could do this, and I am going to fill in the corner with these walls. I think it just looks better, in my opinion. I could swap out... Yeah, let's do that. Grab our glass blocks. We don't have any torches in here at the moment, so we don't have anything to wash away right now. Yeah, there we go. So we can see all around. And this will make getting up here a lot easier to deal with. Yeah, you basically cannot go down when you've got soul sand down there like that. Okay. So, I'm going to do a lot of farming. And after, well, I should say farming. I'm going to do a lot of acquisition of more dark oak. And then we will go from there here in a moment. Okay, time for a progress update. So, inside here, I went ahead and built up building up the second floor here. And we got the roof. So we got glass everywhere. And this is basically a duplicate of the first floor. But outside here, what I'm going to be doing is adding buttons on these logs. This will prevent something from spawning on here without having to add any additional light sources. So I think it's going to work well for us here. There we go. And then up here, we've just got a series of ladders up to a trapdoor. And then I'm bringing this up one additional. These are sitting on the bottom half, so nothing will spawn on this surface. And then over here, on the edge, I'm putting in a nether brick wall. With this, nothing's going to spawn on these surfaces either. Go ahead, pull that up there. Now, for the corners here, I'm adding a second slab in, like that. That way I can have a connected wall all the way around. And that is honestly the only thing I'm really doing to the roof. I have the option, of course, in the future of doing more if I so chose, but I don't think I have a real need to at the moment. Let's get this put in here real quick. Now, outside, I went ahead and I'm starting to put a lip on things. I did decide to go ahead and cut the edges off of these wooden frames, and we're taking dark oak stairs, and we're just running around the entire perimeter. Just like so. And then here in the corners, we're doing it just like this. And we point at the section down there in the lower left. And that should give us, we're going to look at it from up top here in a moment, but it should give us a set of connected break that stairs. Okay, let's go ahead and head up and take a look at that real quick. And we got our buttons. I'm just going to run through it just like this. I'm using the birch because I think it looks well. Yep, it's got it all connected here. Got it all connected here. Yep, there we go. So we have a connected outline there. Perfect. Let's head back inside here. So we are good with that. So we have nothing that'll be able to spawn externally here. Mr. Skeletor, where are you at? I heard you. Let's go ahead and finish this up here. So, I've got the place finished basically. I went ahead and put an under level here, so this sort of juts out like that, like so. I put down some dark oak leaves here with some trapdoors. Actually, look like planters. I will say that underneath each of these leaves, at least one in each planter, there is a bit of glowstone, so it should provide some light through the leaves, I hope. We'll see. But that's everything outside. Inside, we have chests and chests and chests. And I didn't have enough wood, actually, with all of this to do all of these chests. This is a lot. Sadly enough, I may actually need it in the end here. So, but that is pretty much it. The roof is finished. I think I am going to call this finished. We've got all kinds of interior decorating that we could end up doing for these. You know, bits of molding and things like that. I'm not going to worry about it for the time being, because I've got some other things that I want to build. But all things considered, I think the place actually doesn't look horrible. I don't think it looks horrible. I may have to do because it's got the one lift. Maybe I'll do something extra up there at some point, but I think we're fine. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it at that. Honestly, let me know what you think in the comments below. I don't have a full block build out for this because it was actually quite a bit of everything, but it's more of my design process and the process of going through that. I wholly recommend, if you're doing something like this, build it in creative first. This way you have at least a general idea of what you want. This way you're not building and unbuilding and building and unbuilding in survival, where it can take much longer. But that is pretty much it. We're going to go and call this an episode. We're going to pick this up on the next episode, where I want to do a little bit of automatic farming. We'll take a look at a few interesting things there. But if you have any comments, suggestions, go ahead and leave them in the comments section below. Thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope if you are new that you've learned something. My name is Daniel. You have a great day.